Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Shout out to you guys. Sorry, hopefully you guys can hear me. This thing is like falling. Something's going on with this. I gotta fix it. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. We have so much to review. We have to review these lawsuits. I'm sorry. I was watching a little bit of Liam Payne's service because they do have the Liam Payne service right now. It's happening. He's actually being laid to rest as we speak. So I was watching that a little bit and kind of getting a sense of what was going on and everything. I mean, just a really sad situation that I'm just like, I don't know, guys. I don't know how I feel about what's been put out there. It's kind of bothering me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And then I was washing dishes earlier and I cut myself with one of the knives. Really hurts. Hey, Tinkle. We live now. We're live now. We got 5 lawsuits to review, guys. We got to talk about this whole situation with like people. I'm kind of side-eyeing this story a little bit now that I'm just thinking about it. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. We have lawsuits to review, that's for sure. And let me let the people on Discord know that we are live. Hey, Kim. Hey, everybody. Hey, shout out to Sean who got one of our sweaters. I just saw the picture, Sean. Thank you. We are live now. Everybody come through. Thank you, Tinkle Tits. Shout out Tinkle Tits. Like, yes, let's go live. All right. Hold up, y'all. Let me make sure I got the people in here. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing well. We live now. Yeah, it was like washing dishes and literally, y'all can see it, but right there, cut myself with the knife. It didn't hurt initially. It's now starting to hurt. It hurts. Welcome everybody. Oh man. You said the news is losing. The lawsuits are lawing. Right, Kim? You tell them. Hey, Jen. Hey, Heidi. I hope you're doing well. Shout out to Heidi. Belen, how are you? David's in the house. Nebby's in the house. Rhiannon, everybody. Dizzy, Destiny, Storm. Welcome, Tina. Welcome. NJS 55. And then on other news, just so everybody's aware, Susan Smith, you guys remember Susan Smith? I think she's from North Carolina. Hey, Ingrid. Hey, everybody. She's like facing the parole board right now to see if she's eligible to be released. The lady who locked her kids in the car, drove her car to a lake, basically let them drown there, and then she blamed a black man for doing the crime. This lady, and then not only that, this lady has violated prison rules. She's over here having sex with guards and doing the most with guards. There's a guard over here that looked like Santa Claus talking about, I don't think she should be released, and he's over here having sex with her. It was so she's facing a parole board right now. And she's like, pulling I didn't do it, it wasn't me. You remember that? Oh my God, I cannot. Welcome. Hey, C. Miller. Hey, iCats. Everybody come through. Micah, welcome. Thank you. Will it? Yeah, it's very painful. So you said tea tree oil on your cut. All right, gotcha. The dogs cut my thumb this weekend and it still hasn't healed. And they've been beating my ass. Oh, we gotta do something about those dogs. I'm telling you, Chico. Sean, thank you again for buying a sweater. If you guys are in the Discord, go check out Sean and the Pick. Shout out to Sean. Don, welcome. Everybody come through. I suspect FOIA is gonna be gone next year. We haven't had it anymore. FOIA? I suspect a FOIA? What do you mean? Shout out to you. G Matt, welcome. All right, guys. We got so much to review. Really, Janie? Oh my God. I mean, honestly, I can't believe that they're even the fact that she's even having a hearing right now. I don't know. The Discord, Storm, I'm going to post a link to the Discord on the membership community wall. The Discord is only for members. So if you're a member, you can go hang out over there. Basically, it's a way for us to have the conversation over there. I interact with you guys sometimes there. Sometimes I'm busy, so I can't. But everybody else is there, and you guys shoot the shit over there. So yeah, it's a cool little place for everybody to hang out, as long as you guys are behaving. Okay, behaving. All right. Heidi has been a member for 12 months. It's my first flufful birthday. Yay! Shout out to Heidi. Thank you so much, Heidi, for supporting me for a whole freaking year. Shout out to you guys and shout out to everybody else. Thank you guys. You said she is a saint according to her person speaking now. Janie, so again, Susan Smith is the lady who drowned her 2 kids. I think this is, I don't know, there's another state that's coming to my head right now, but it's North Carolina. She drove her car to the lake with her 2 kids, and then she went on the news media and tried to basically blame a black man for doing this to her kids. And it caused a whole little like race situation. I mean, you had people up here saying, like, why did she blame a black guy? Like, she's the one that did it. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I did a whole video about it too. I think it was like a couple months ago because she was up for parole. So today is her parole hearing and everybody's on it. You know what I mean? She is. You know what, Heidi? But it's so crazy because like the lady is like, she's having relationships with people in the prison. Thank you. It was why did I say North Carolina? South Carolina, the John D. Long Lake in South Carolina. Thank you, Body Illusions. Thank you. I don't know. She needs to stay in prison, honestly. Yeah, the 90s were a trip. Right. She needs to stay in prison because I could totally see her. Let me tell you. Y'all think Gypsy Rose is bad? I could see this lady pulling a Gypsy Rose. No, what? Tinkle tits. Thank you for the 4. Yeah, the Freedom of Information Act. It's going to get castrated next year. Tinkle, are you serious? By why? Tinkle, you're going to have to say more. Thank you for the $4.99. I mean, I knew what FOIA stood for, but like you said, it's going to get castrated next year. Why? This is the first I've heard of this. Why? Is this like a new change for the new election type of situation? Wow. All right, cool. Well, then, if y'all were so worried about transparency, fuck it. There will be none. There you go. Okay. Yeah. She's crazy. That's how bad she feels. Yeah, I bet. I didn't even think of that, Tinkle Tits. Well, shit, then you know what that means. That's going to be very hard for a lot of bloggers to talk about certain cases. And it also means that, like, some of these court documents that you guys see here might not be accessible for a lot of folks. A lot of shit that we probably already, I mean, a lot of people are going to have to start putting shit on private. That's what's going to happen. Freedom of Information Act will be no more. That's what it sounds like. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. 11/11. Yep. Shout out to you guys. They're already starting with YouTube and TikTok. I believe it. I believe it. All right, guys. We have 5 lawsuits. My wish, don't get rid of the Freedom of Information Act. That's my wish. There you go. And I made it loud. Hopefully it comes true. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. So we have 5 of them to review. We're going to review all 5 of these, okay? We have some other stuff to talk about. I had to write all the 5 so I know that I'm not repeating myself over and over. So there is that. Okay. Here it is. You said they're changing the process, not intended to change the info. I hope not. I hope not, but we will see. Hold up. Now let me open this with DocuHub. By the way, shout out to BJ who hooked it up this morning with these documents. That surprise witness TV. Shout out to BJ. Okay, we got to get into it. So we had 5 new lawsuits dropped last night from Tony Busby, who, again, there's a lawsuit going on right now about him being some level of an extortionist and whatnot. I guess we'll see what happens with that. I'm kind of curious to know. I have not read that lawsuit yet, but I'm wondering what allegations and what discovery is going to look like, quite honestly. So this plaintiff is a Jane Doe, and Busby are the attorneys. Now, this case seeks compensates. I can't read this. Sorry, y'all. Punitive damages for sexual assault of a 17-year-old victim, which occurred at a 4th of July party at defendant Sean Combs' residence in New York. So The way that they write these lawsuits, Busby does, he literally puts the information in the introduction, he copies and pastes all this stuff in there, and then you get the alleged facts at the very end. So we're not reviewing this whole thing, we're reviewing the alleged facts. That's what we're going to do. Otherwise, we would be here forever reviewing all of this, and that's not what we're going to do, okay? So, the conduct described herein is shockingly typical of how defendant Combs conducts himself for many years. Many individuals and entities facilitated and conspired with this abhorrent conduct. Sean Combs believes he is above the law. He is not. All right. So, we have the victim. This happened at a 4th of July party. The victim at the time was 17 years old. That is considered a child still, for those that are wondering. Well, she's 17. And by the way, how disgusting that we have pro Diddy supporters that are really willing to like overlook this shit and overlook the fact that some of these involve children. Like, that's just crazy to me. But hey, whatever gets you to wherever you need to go in life, do you, boo. Okay. Here it is. So, on or around July 4th, 2004, plaintiff, a 17-year-old model at the time, attended a modeling gig in Manhattan. Afterwards, she was approached by two men in a dark SUV. The men gave her a flyer for a party happening later that evening. Plaintiff decided to go to the party and dial the number on the flyer. Shortly after, a car picked her up and a friend and brought them to a party. Now, the party turned out to be one of Diddy's Combs' infamous 4th of July parties at his estate in the Hamptons. Combs' Hamptons parties regularly attracted A-list celebrities from across the entertainment, fashion, and business worlds. This one was no different. The event was lavishly decorated, featured live music performances, and boasted top-tier food and beverages, an atmosphere of opulence and luxury, full of celebrities. Full of celebrities. Okay. Many unsuspecting individuals like plaintiff were recruited to attend these parties. Some of this recruitment, as with plaintiff, took place in Manhattan. When plaintiff arrived, Combs' staff at the front door required her to hand over her purse and her cell phone prior to attending. Pattern of behavior. This is a pattern. So we've noticed that it's a lot of celebrities. People got to turn in their phones, and typically this winds up with somebody being given a drink. You know what I mean? You said this is the same July 4th, 2004 party where Audria English says her assault occurred. Wow. Another one. Thank you. Thank you for the info. So this is similar to that. I wonder if Audrina can attest to that. Right. It is another one. It's another one.
Another one.
I don't know how many of these we're gonna do, but we might need one for Busby too.
Another one.
And here we go. Okay. Here we go. So when she arrived, she said she had to give up her purse and her cell phone prior to entering. Now, the plaintiff recognized numerous celebrities in attendance as she walked around the parties. Servers circulated through the room of the mansions with trays of drink. Plaintiff decided to have one. Shortly after drinking it, plaintiff began to feel lightheaded and disoriented. Based on information believed, Combs by himself or through his agents and employees previously laced the drink with drugs, including but not limited to GHB or ecstasy. This behavior towards plaintiff mimics a pattern of Combs and his agents drugging unsuspecting victims. Okay, and then we have a picture here. So in order for Combs to make it easier for Combs to sexually assault that person, unfortunately, plaintiff was one such victims. A photograph of this container, and we've seen this photograph before of this container. Now, I have a question about this container. They got this picture from somewhere. When this picture was first shown, and then you had the picture where they measured the pen with the container, right? In my mind, I couldn't help but wonder if is this a stock photo from somewhere, or is this the actual container that was used? You know what I mean? And y'all can see it. I'm sorry. Here it is. Sorry about that. My screen switched. This is a container, right? Is this a stock photo, or was this the actual container that was used? this photo, because this can't be the photo of every person that was drugged. I just find that to be impossible. Or like, because the lawsuit doesn't really specify. And Jill, thank you so much for gifting memberships. Jill, let me put some hearts in the chat. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What do you guys think? Wendy says that's crazy. Well, girl, like I'm wondering, because you guys, we've seen these lawsuits and we read them time and time and time again, right? This lawsuit right here, we could Google reverse search, but it came from somewhere. I'll have to do that later on because I can't do it right now. But it came from somewhere, right? Like, you'd have to wonder. It's a different photo, right, Diddy Docket? Something don't sound. I don't know about this photo. I don't know. But anyways, maybe this is a photo that was used for one person, and then they said, okay, like, did the victim say that's the little thing that they used to drug me? That's what it looked like. Because the way it's being written, it's almost they're unsuspecting. They're unsuspecting that they've been drugged. But it does make you wonder. You said you were prescribed GHB. It comes in a dark brown bottle, says Chell. Who knows? That's what I want. Like, where's the origin of this? That's what I want to know. But, I don't know. And that photo looks different to the others, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yeah. Like, did they collectively identify this item? That I have a lot of questions about this, because if he's going to file 120 lawsuits, is this going to be the picture that he shows every lawsuit that he files? So collectively, the victims are saying that the GHB or whatever was in this thing. Like, I'm kind of wondering about this. I have a lot of questions. That's all what I'm going to say about that. But y'all let me know your thoughts. It just made me think that. So as she grew increasingly disoriented, plaintiff searched for a place to sit. She stumbled to a couch and promptly lost consciousness. Now, when she woke up, plaintiff's underwear was missing and she felt throbbing pain in her areas, okay? At this point, plaintiff was alone and she could not find the friend who had accompanied her to the party. In a state of panic, she began hyperventilating and cried. Now, Combs and two of the bodyguards approached plaintiff and threatened her. Combs told plaintiff that she would be in danger if she spoke out about what had occurred. Stating that he ran New York and would ruin her. At that point, plaintiff recognized that at least Combs had sexually assaulted her while she was unconscious. She feared for her life. Okay. Now it says right here, footnote, look at this. A picture of a vial recovered from Combs' cohort, presumably containing illicit drugs. Where did y'all see that right here? This is a footnote. We just talked about this vial. Oh, we got 5, B Tim. We got 5. 5. Okay. The footnote says a picture of the vial recovered from Combs' cohort, presumably containing illicit drugs. Did they collect this one time with this picture? Where is this little cohort? Who saved it? Who thought of taking a picture of it? This is interesting because it makes you wonder, because this is, at least some of the pictures that we've seen have the same thing, right? Like, where did this come from? Is there like a barcode to it? It just makes you wonder. I think we're a little over 28 at this point, James. Don't quote me on the number, but I'm pretty sure we're still in the 20s. Good 28 or so. It looks pre-measured, right, Chell? Mm-hmm. I would say so. Did y'all hit the like button, please? And thank you. Okay. Yeah, and he wants bail. Okay, so let's keep going. Plaintiff was coerced into agreeing not to contact the police in exchange for the return of her purse and phone. She agreed out of fear for what would happen if she did not. Combs' security team then escorted plaintiff out of Combs' estate and into a car, dropping her off at the Hedge Inns in the East Hamptons. Plaintiff was taken to the hotel alone and did not see her friend again for 2 days. Out of fear of retaliation, plaintiff did not file a police report or seek medical help. In the aftermath of the assault, plaintiff experienced and continues to experience intense emotional pain and mental health issues, including PTSD, depression, and anxiety. All right, so this is about 20 pages, and that is the first lawsuit. And again, the first lawsuit is of a female who is 17 years old at the time of this assault. Now, let me get my hold up, y'all. I got to get a pen real quick so I can mark what number I just read. And I think this was lawsuit 8813. Okay, so now we got to go to lawsuit maybe 8808. Hold up. Is this it? Alrighty. Another lawsuit. This is it. This is there's a Halloween party lawsuit, y'all. This is the next one, and this one is of a oh shit. Hold up. Did I just drop the screen? This one is of a 19-year-old, or excuse me, 18-year-old who 18-year-old, all right? Who went to a Halloween party at a nightclub in New York City. Okay, so 18-year-old goes to a 18-year-old woman outside of a Halloween party at a nightclub. So the conduct is described as typical of defendant Sean Combs. And apparently many individuals and entities facilitated and conspired to the abhorrent behavior. Okay, we know kind of the first part. So we know it's a female and she was 18 years old and it was at a party, a Halloween party. Okay. Let me go to here we go. Factual allegations. So this is in 2001. Plaintiff, who was 18 years old at the time, and her cousin attended a Halloween party held at Club New Yorker in Manhattan. Combs and his entourage also attended the party and provided drinks to plaintiff and her friends throughout the night. Now, during the Halloween party, one of Combs' security guards escorted plaintiff and two friends to a large SUV limousine parked within walking distance of the club. They entered the vehicle and saw Combs sitting in the back. At least 6 members of Combs' security team were also in the limousine. Now, one of the men handed plaintiff a drink. Okay. Minutes later, she began feeling dizzy, intoxicated, and disoriented. She felt as though she was unable to control her own actions. That is a pattern of behavior that we've seen in other lawsuits. Based on the information and belief, Combs by himself or through his agents and employees previously laced the drinks with drugs, including but not limited to GHB or ecstasy. This behavior towards plaintiff mimics a pattern of Combs and his agents, employees drugging unsuspecting victims in order to make it easier for Combs to sexually assault that person. Now, unfortunately, plaintiff was one such victim. Combs ordered plaintiff to perform oral on one of the security guards. In turn, this is the one that we read in TMZ last night. In turn, the security guard ordered plaintiff to remove her shirt. The guard fondled plaintiff's breasts and forced her head in mouth in his area. Combs then ordered plaintiff and 2 other women to take turns performing oral on each of the other men. Drugged, scared, and confined among numerous men, plaintiff did as Combs and his security guard ordered. Now, let me stop right here, okay? Because here's the deal, y'all. You guys notice that security guards are always present when some of these things are happening. Anybody else notice how like the security is always there? Security is always there, right? So all these security guards, former bodyguards of Combs, are they just going to act like they didn't see some of this shit that was going on? Or they didn't participate in some of this ish that was going on? Right. Elizabeth, can we put the names out? Thank you for saying that. And by the way, I do skip around words and wait till I say words because of there's bots that are checking these videos, by the way, that are dinging videos that are saying things and words. So I have to be careful with what I say. C. Miller, please tell them. Round up all the security guards. Surely if they were on the payroll, they're saying this was happening in the fucking 90s, in the 2000s. You mean to tell me that some of these security guards didn't see this shit or weren't around for this or didn't participate in this, sorry, y'all. I'm having a hard time with this one. I really am. Okay. I really, really, really am. Let me know what you guys are saying. Yeah, Danny Masterson vibes. You ain't never lie. Hey, Bunny Advocate. Hey, everybody. Please hit that like button, please, and thank you. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Let me see. Dot to dots are dotting, creating a nefarious malarkey of a picture. Right, Matt? Tell them we need names. We need names. Right? Let them know. Let them know. Yeah. Hey, Ashley, how are you? Yeah, there's no way. Just because you turned your head doesn't mean that you didn't see shit or you weren't there. Like, I'm having a hard time with this. Okay, whatever. Anyways, let me keep reading. Um, so Combs called the women profanities, and as he degradedly sprayed champagne all over them as they performed these as acts against their will. Ultimately, Combs forced plaintiff to perform on himself, which she did. Thereafter, Combs and his security staff allowed plaintiff and other women to leave. Plaintiff struggled to exit the vehicle and suffered from a splitting headache as she made her way back to the VIP section of the nightclub, where she subsequently passed out. When she woke up the following morning, she was at a friend's house without any recollection of what happened, of how she arrived. Excuse me. In the aftermath of the assault, plaintiff has struggled with intense emotional pain, mental health issues, feeling disgusted and deeply depressed, the symptoms of PTSD. Okay, now this is again 18-year-old goes to a Halloween party in 2001, and associates and Combs, security and Combs, allegedly this is what went down. And this is lawsuit number, and like I have to label them, y'all, because we have too many. Jill says, I need to talk, Masters. Thank you for the $2, Jill. I don't know what you mean. You mean you and I need to talk, or you and I to talk, Masters? You got to tell me what you mean, Jill. Thank you for the $2, by the way. Yeah. What do you mean by Masters? Okay, we got to go to the third lawsuit. It's just like it's like one after another, guys. One after another. Now, this is lawsuit number 812. 812. Next lawsuit. Here it is. Let me close out the other ones because we don't need the other ones. Number 812 lawsuit. You met with him, says Jill. Okay, Jill. I'll have to get at you then. Let's read these lawsuits. So this is a for a sexual assault of a plaintiff by multiple individuals after plaintiff was lured to New York City to meet defendant Sean Combs for a possible acting role in a music video. Okay. So you got models, you got people that are wanting to come up in the music industry that have been like recruited to do videos, and clearly that's not what they're having to do. There's more to this. All right. Hold up. So this person right here, plaintiff John Doe, is a male who resides in Texas. So this is a John Doe male who resides in Texas who went to a party, who went to do a music video. And here it is. And this is in the late 90s and early 2000s. So like 1999 to 2000s. Plaintiff was an actor regularly traveling across the United States for auditions and roles on stage and screen after finding out about a role playing a police officer in a music video. Really? Plaintiff exchanged phone calls with the female casting director in New York. Now, hold up. There's a lawsuit of a minor child who is also from LA who met up Combs through a talent agency. Talent agency as like the recruiter brought child, it was a male child, to meet Combs, and the assault happened, and there was like a middle person in between this. Okay? the middle person in between this. So let's keep going with this lawsuit because we'll see what happens with this, okay? So after finding out about a role playing a police officer in a music video, plaintiff exchanged phone calls with the female casting director in New York. In October 2001, he traveled to Manhattan to meet with her. Excited for his big break into a music videos, plaintiff booked a room at the Hotel Newton on Manhattan's Upper West Side and arrived in New York City the night before his meeting. The next day around 2 p.m., plaintiff reported to a hotel alongside of hold up. The next day around 2 p.m., plaintiff reported to a hotel along the south side of Central Park as instructed by the casting director. He checked in with the reception who directed him to a suite near the top of the hotel. Plaintiff was met by the casting director and a muscular, middle-aged African American man. Yeah. Who indicated that he worked for defendant Combs and appeared to be Combs' assistant or bodyguard. Yet another freaking bodyguard, another security guard. What is going on? This person is a plaintiff met with the casting director and a muscular middle-aged African American man. Let me tell you, Diddy Docket, like, yeah, these talent agencies are weird. It's crazy. But anyways, let me go ahead and continue to read this. So plaintiff who was met with these people, okay, who indicated that he worked for defendant Combs and appeared to be Combs' assistant or bodyguard, okay? Plaintiff recalls approximately a dozen others in the room as well. Combs' bodyguard told plaintiff to make himself comfortable on the couch and began asking questions about plaintiff's background and his fitness routines. Shortly after that, Combs arrived and introduced himself. The bodyguard informed Combs that plaintiff was the white guy for the cop role. The bodyguard informed Combs that plaintiff was the white guy for the cop role. Not the right guy, but the white guy. Okay. Combs began asking plaintiff more questions about his experience and lifestyle. He asked plaintiff if he was in New York with anyone or if he had any friends there. Plaintiff said no to both questions and indicated that he was just there for the audition. Combs told plaintiff to stand up to take his shirt off. While plaintiff was standing there, Combs asked him if he was comfortable with potentially doing nude scenes, and then asked him to turn around. While he was turning, plaintiff heard Combs say, "He'll do." Combs then told plaintiff he could sit back down. Once plaintiff sat back down, the casting director offered him an alcoholic drink, which he declined, and then offered him a diet soda in a glass, which he drank. But noted that it tasted strange. At that point, plaintiff realized that the casting director was the only female in the room. The conversation continued regarding the music video and shooting schedule, but as time passed, plaintiff began to feel dizzy and nauseous. He asked to use the bathroom because he felt like he might pass out. Shortly after that, plaintiff did in fact pass out. Why isn't this in like a criminal case? Like, oh my God. And then there's this picture again. All right. So based on the information, believe Combs by himself or through his agents, employees, laced plaintiff's drink with drugs, including but not limited to GHB, ecstasy. Okay. And here this is the same narrative that they've added in the other pictures. And then again, they have the footnote that this picture is a vial recovered from Combs' cohorts. Okay. So who has this? I'm going to ask this question again because this is going to be the same thing that we're going to see in every lawsuit. Who has this cohort or this vial or whatever? Like, not cohort, I'm sorry, the vial. Who has this thing, right? Who took this picture of this thing? Okay. And why is it being used in every lawsuit? Because are they saying that they all drank this? If they were drugged, then the drink had something in there. How did they know that that's what was used to drug them? I have a lot of questions about this. This is going to bother me now. So, and I think we need to be critical about how we're seeing this, right? This picture. Because it's just weird to me. It's just weird to me that we have now focused on this picture and that every lawsuit has it. It don't make sense to me, guys. And that's just me thinking out loud, okay? So, let me see what you guys are saying. Hold up. Yeah, I'm in Canada and I get it all the time. Oh my God, that sounds like another incident, but the other kid was there in the recording deal. Right. You remember that one? Remember that one? So I have a lot of questions. Like it's a similar. There was a talent agent, which I think to me sounds more like a handler. But yeah. Okay. So let's get through this lawsuit and then we'll recollect here in a minute. Okay. All right. So plaintiff came in to a twilight state, still dizzy and nauseous, but semi-conscious and disoriented. As plaintiff tried to get his bearings, he realized he was laying face down across a large ottoman with his head and arms hanging off one side and the lower back of his body hanging off the other. His pants were pulled down to his ankles and his skirt, or excuse me, why did I say skirt? I'm like, I need my glasses. And his shirt was pulled over his head. Okay, so he's laying down with his ankles kind of hanging out and his shirt pulled over his head. He felt a great deal of pain and realized as he looked back that he was being blank by Combs. So he woke up during the act. It says anally sodom. It's covered blank by Combs. Okay. Thank you, Tina. You're right. Yes, Sheena, this is another Busby lawsuit, girl. This is another Busby lawsuit, another 5. His vision was blurry, but he recognized Combs' chest tattoos and the large gold chain with the jeweled cross on it that Combs wore during the interview. Plaintiff tried to fight him off, but felt dizzy and sick whenever he tried to move. Additionally, Combs' bodyguard. Here it is. Busby, did these bodyguards settle with you that you're not even putting their names in the lawsuit anymore? Did they settle with you? Or what's going on here? Unless this was, was this Wolf? Who was this? Who was this bodyguard? Wolf died in 2003. So, and this happened in the early 2000s. So Wolf would have been around this time that this was going down, okay? Wolf and who else? Put the name in the chat. Who's become a Diddy whistleblower lately? Talk about it. Who else was there? I'm just tired of now we're going to have to put the pieces in there. Who was there when these allegations were being put out there? Okay? Just going to say that. Additionally, Combs' bodyguard was holding plaintiff down by the arms. Plaintiff recalls hearing a few other people in the room laughing and talking and seeing what appeared to be camera flashing going off, but could not see anything directly at this point. Now, when Combs was finished, he and his bodyguard stood up and the bodyguard started putting a condom on himself. Now, the bodyguard is in it too. The bodyguard stood up and the bodyguard started putting a condom on himself. Plaintiff tried to get up and move quickly, but immediately felt another wave of dizziness and nausea. He could not support his own weight when he tried to stand and passed out again. It is very disturbing, Belen. I know. Somebody's like, Rabbit's yelling, and I need my coffee. Get your coffee, Sylvia. Get your coffee. When he came to, when he was being held, when he came to, he was being held in a kneeling position by a Caucasian man who was sitting on the couch in front of him and orally, doing stuff to him. Plaintiff tasted metal and believed some sort of device was holding his mouth open because he tried to bite down but could not. Plaintiff later discovered that he had a broken molar, requiring repair and partial denture. The man verbally humiliated plaintiff while assaulting him, referring him to as a F and a P boy who liked what was happening. Plaintiff recalls the brutality which with which this man forced himself into plaintiff's mouth and throat. And plaintiff passed out again from a lack of oxygen as the man ejaculated. This is horrible. All right. The next time plaintiff came to, he was on the floor. I think they meant to say came to consciousness because it's like they're not finishing the sentence. He was on the floor completely naked. He was more coherent at this point and could clearly see others in the room engaging in various acts, drinking and smoking. Okay. Combs and the bodyguard remained, but plaintiff no longer saw the female casting director. Now, embarrassed and violated, plaintiff tried to cover himself and started looking for his clothes. Once he found his pants and shirts and shoes, he ran for the door without his underwear. And also notice one of his prized possessions, a commemorative leather jacket he got from working as a stuntman on the film RoboCop. Plaintiff never saw the jacket again as he ran out. He heard oh my god, hold up. As he ran out, he heard someone near the door laugh and say, "I hope you had fun." Okay, let me stop right here. The victim here is somebody who was a stunt for RoboCop. He got a jacket, which was his prized possession, and it was taken from him. This is so egregious, y'all. Too damn egregious. All right. Wow. Okay, so plaintiff made his way downstairs and managed to make it to the sidewalk before breaking down. It was near dusk at this point. A doorman asked plaintiff if he was all right, and plaintiff responded that he just needed to get back to his hotel. The doorman helped plaintiff get a cab, and he returned to his room at the Hotel Newton, where plaintiff blank and cried all night, replaying the trauma of what had just happened. He feared others' disbelief and the other perpetrators' retaliation if he told anyone. He changed his flight to return the next morning to get home as soon as he could. Oh my God. He was set up, you guys. Once back at home, plaintiff tried to put the event out of his mind, but he was reminded of it when he painfully blank used. So when he would use condoms and realize he was bleeding rectum. So he was bleeding from his rectum. Okay. I'm trying to be very careful of the details that I give. When the bleeding did not stop for a couple days, plaintiff visited a local clinic and then a proctologist who repaired plaintiff's anus with the laser procedure. Plaintiff also ended up having to purchase false teeth to replace the two that were cracked as a result of the incident. This guy went to the doctor. He had to get his body, that area fixed, right? And then his teeth too. Okay? So just so everybody's aware of the details. Don't come in here, you're pro Diddy people. Don't come in here trying to discredit this man. This man had to go get medical procedures for this. Okay? Look what he's saying. And I'm assuming that you're going to have receipts for anything physical and teeth and everything. There's going to be a lot of stuff out there. And he was recruited by talent agents. Okay? And there was a bodyguard that participated. That is okay. I didn't expect this from this lawsuit. Okay? So sorry y'all. I'm getting mad because of the comments that a lot of us get where they're like pro Diddy. It's fucking insanity. I don't get how you can defend somebody like Diddy, but that's just my thought. In the aftermath of the assault, plaintiff struggled with intense emotional pain and mental health issues, feeling disgusted and deeply depressed. Okay. Plaintiff has experienced a significant impact on his personal life, and he has never married and often struggles to maintain relationships due to the assault. Plaintiff describes himself as an all-American guy, yet acknowledges that not a day goes by without the thought of this traumatic incident. My God. So basically, he was gang ard. That's what it sounds like to me. Like he was gang ard. We have 2 more lawsuits to get through, you guys. I'm sorry. Like, um, I just don't know how you could read these and not get emotional or feel some type of way for these victims. And that's how I feel. Like, honestly, I think I read this one already. Yeah. So we need 811 and 810. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, here it is. 810. Here we go. 810. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Um, let me take a minute. I know, Night. I just like I'm trying like you think that it don't matter how often you hear it's I don't know. And let me stop. I'm just thinking too much of this. Okay. We're going to be okay. Let's get through these lawsuits, all right? So, this is of an incident that occurred at an after party hosted by defendant Sean Combs in Miami, Florida. Okay, so this plaintiff was left unconscious, naked, and afraid. So again, another party, another situation, and it sounds like this. Of course, it's going to be another drugging. That's the pattern that seems to be happening here. Okay, so let's get to the alleged facts. This is oh my god, this is recent. This is in 2022, okay? 2022. Plaintiff mingled and spent time with associates of Combs' businesses at a popular Miami nightclub. He did not consume alcohol at the time. Okay, so this is a John Doe. Okay, he did not consume alcohol at the time. He did not consume alcohol at the nightclub. After spending some time with these individuals, an associate of Combs invited plaintiff to an after-hours event being hosted by Combs at a residential home. Now, Combs' business associates escorted plaintiff to a black SUV, which drove plaintiff and another female to the party. So here we have 2 people. They were being driven to this party. After arriving, plaintiff entered the residence and joined the other partygoers. Plaintiff saw about 45 to 50 people, many of whom were recognizable public figures, right? So let me get this straight. Like you're an up and coming type of personality, like you know, going back to what I've seen people say that have attended these parties, right? If you're a model or if you're an aspiring artist, you want to be invited to a Diddy party. Why? Because you want to be able to like socialize with people. You want to be able to like talk to people and everything. And I could see that. What social media was back in, well, then this is 2022, so this is a different time. But earlier in the days, in the 2000s, early 2000s, in the 90s, we don't have social media how we have it now, right? So this happened in 2022. Let's keep reading, okay? So while mingling and making small talk with others, an associate of Combs approached plaintiff, indicating that Combs wanted to meet with him. The associate took plaintiff upstairs where Combs greeted him with a drink and offered a tour of the house. Plaintiff obliged and began following Combs around the home. Now the tour came to an end in a bedroom. The bedroom smelled strongly of marijuana. 5 other individuals, 3 men and 2 women, apart from Combs and plaintiff, were inside of the room as well. As plaintiff and Combs entered the room, Combs demanded the women perform as sexual dances and acts on the other 3 men. Okay. So around this time, plaintiff suddenly felt weak and disoriented, unlike anything he had ever experienced with alcohol before. As plaintiff's condition worsened, he began to fall in and out of consciousness. Plaintiff knew he had been drugged. Now, based on the information and belief, okay, we have that little picture of the vial again. Okay, so everybody's aware of what this looks like. Plaintiff soon lost consciousness entirely. At some point later, he woke up with a sharp pain in his area. He regained some awareness. He noticed his clothes were missing. He had no memory of removing them or where they were. As he turned around to check where the pain was coming, as he turned around to check the pain coming from his area, he saw Combs naked, fully erected, trying to insert his stuff into plaintiff's area. Okay, so plaintiff heard Combs talked dirty to him and the others in the room, and plaintiff recalls Combs telling him, "This is what you want," all while wearing a disturbing smile. The drugs prevented plaintiff from fighting back or otherwise resisting Combs' assault. Plaintiff eventually slipped back into unconsciousness. Plaintiff woke up the next morning in the same room alone, almost immediately, as if someone could see inside the room through a camera or other devices. A member of Combs' security team entered, handed plaintiff his clothes, and instructed him to get dressed and prepare to leave the residence. Combs' associates and security team escorted plaintiff out of the residence. So here you go. Combs' associates and security team are like escorting these victims out. I mean, makes you wonder if they were well aware of what had happened. This is in 2022. Who was a bodyguard back then? Y'all check the Diddy timeline to see who was bodyguarding for who at that time. Even though some people are kind of afraid to do that, like they're scared to kind of like say, is it possible that this person that has become this like, what is it? Whistleblower could have been part of the fuck shit? I don't know. I don't know them. I just know them from YouTube. That's all. And some of the interviews and IG stuff that people have done. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. Okay? Anything is possible. Let's see. So they drove him back to Miami nightclub and dropped him off. Since that night, plaintiff has suffered significant physical and mental harm, including anxiety disorders, fear of group gatherings. He did not previously speak out about his encounter due to fear of retaliation from Combs' associates. So again, this is a John Doe from 2022. Okay. And it was in a Miami after party. And this is lawsuit 810. All right, so now we have lawsuit 811 that we have to review. Y'all, I have a running list of the lawsuits that I'm trying to review. Now, is this it? This is 812. We reviewed that one. We need 810, 811. All right, I need to go to my email real quick to pull 811. Y'all, I mean, we have to. Did I tell you guys I have an Excel sheet to kind of keep all of these organized because of how they're kind of coming in? After party, we read this Halloween party, and then this is 811, which is what we're missing. Let's open this. Okay, here we go. 811 lawsuit. And let's mark that off my list now. Yep. I agree with you, Vicky. People got to be careful when they talk. You know what I mean? I think everybody should be quiet. At least, especially like the victims, everything that's coming out. People need to be quiet. People are not safe. Nobody's safe in this situation. Okay. Here we go. So 811. This is this case. This occurred in the residence in New York City. Okay. So let's see. Let's go to the alleged facts. And this is a good 20 pages. Okay. We're going to go to the alleged facts. This is another one that's in 2022. In or around 2022, plaintiff, then 39 years old, attended a party hosted by defendant Sean Combs in a large, glamorous home in New York City. Okay. So plaintiff attended the party with friends and started off the evening socializing with other guests. During the course of the night, plaintiff consumed alcohol that had been provided to him, so this is a John Doe, by other individuals at the party. Now, after consuming the drink, plaintiff began to feel disoriented and began to lose control of his body and to lose consciousness. Okay. Based on information and belief, Combs by himself and or through other agents, he was given a drink that, again, the GHB, at least it's believed that that's what it is. Okay. This behavior towards plaintiff mimics a pattern of Combs and his agents' employees drugging unsuspecting victims in order to make it easier for Combs to assault that person. Unfortunately, plaintiff was a victim. Okay. So they show the little picture again. Now, this picture looks a little bit different than the other one. The other one was turned around. Maybe it's just a turned around picture. So shortly after having the drink, plaintiff blacked out. When plaintiff regained consciousness, he was in a dark bedroom with black walls and a bed with black sheets Everything around him was dark. Plaintiff was horrified to find Combs on top of him, so sodomizing him. Okay, for those that I can't say the word completely, I have to stop and do different things to not say the word. Plaintiff, in a state of shock and confusion, forcefully fought Combs off and fled the room, making his way to a nearby bathroom. There, plaintiff discovered that his area was bleeding and that he was still feeling severely disoriented. Despite still being in a dazed, disoriented state, plaintiff fled the house in an effort to escape the situation as quickly as possible. He did not return to the party after the assault. Plaintiff was traumatized by the assault and continued to experience severe emotional distress as a result of what he had endured with Combs. That's it. So, yeah, that's all that was written in here. So despite still being in a daze, disoriented, plaintiff fled the house in effort to escape. So this person fled the house. He did not return to the party after the assault. Plaintiff was traumatized by the assault and continued to experience severe emotional distress. He forcefully, yeah, those are all the details of this, and this is also a John Doe. Wow. There's that one. Hey, Shrinking Sharon. Hey, everybody. This is another lawsuit. Sorry, you guys. It was a little too much, I think, for my head. I was just like, knowing and hearing and all this stuff and the details, it just gets to be too much, period. Now, I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us, I mean, for me, I don't know. I mean, to me, it would be just reporting to the police about what's going on. But apparently, there have been, and initially, when I heard this story, shout out to BJ Investigates. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. So it's on my bookmark. And she did a video this morning about this, about how people are, these private investigators are visiting influencers. Okay. Now, I definitely believe that there are private investigators that are visiting influencers. Definitely believe it. Definitely believe it. But I don't think that they're Diddy investigators per se. I personally think that these are people that are worried about being exposed because of Diddy. What do you guys think about that? Because I was thinking about this and I was listening to I think is her name Amala. I think that's her name. I went to go listen to her video. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I was listening to her video and the details, and there was a friend that was like kind of supporting her story, right? So then I was like, all right, so all this stuff that's coming out of Diddy, it's already out there, right? Amala's saying what she says. She said it on her video. And then another influencer that's a lot bigger on TikTok showed footage of these private investigators that were being filmed. And I said, well, damn, like these private investigators, do they know that they're being filmed? Which I'm glad that they're being filmed, right? But at the same time, I just don't know if these are Diddy investigators. I think these are investigators that are concerned about the Diddy information being out there. You know what I mean? You said an influencer ring camera picked up the conversation between the influencer and two private investigators. Says Kat, it's getting out of hand, you guys. Now,
no, you're at my home.
Hold up.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to us?
Two private investigators just visited a place I used to live in search of me, and they were coming to ask me whether or not I've been paid to talk about P. Diddy and his connection to other celebrities on my show.
So you guys are private investigators.
Now, I definitely believe everything that Amala says, but what I'm struggling with is that I don't know if it's Diddy investigators. I think that these are investigators that at some point partied with Diddy, supported Diddy, have financial ties to Diddy. That are worried about that shit coming out. So much so that they're hiring investigators to figure out people. There's something underlining in this situation that's just like, it's too crazy to me.
To have come to my private home asking about influencers. This is very uncomfortable, you guys.
I don't know why. I'll explain.
No, you're at my home.
Exactly. Like, what the hell are you doing here? And these guys are like, it's just weird, the interaction. It's giving very much Scientology. It's giving very much OSA. It's giving very much like paid operatives. It's giving very much like who are you trying to who's on the payroll? Because Diddy's locked up right now. You know, he's got this whole thing right now. Okay, people are saying that he had a win. We'll look into that here in a little bit. But something don't make sense to me. I don't think that this is Diddy behind this. I think this is a Diddy supporter behind this shit that is worried about being outed with Diddy. Okay, because remember what we've been saying. Listen, Diddy didn't do this shit alone. There are people that have been behind Diddy. Who hired, what is it, thing one and thing two over here to do all this? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to us then?
I suggest you guys watch the video that BJ did because it was pretty well done. But I think that there's something more nefarious going back here. People are worried about people talking. That's what I got to say about that. That you thought so too? Yeah, before I go, like I felt like, listen, Diddy is not, it's somebody else in Diddy's camp that's worried about their shit coming out. Okay? Because look at the way that these lawsuits are being written. Look at what's being said. All right. I don't know what it is. It's a feeling that I have. I said something's up. Now, is it Lawyers for Work? Another creator who I have listened to before. Yeah, Lawyers for Workers. He breaks down the whole situation that happened yesterday. I couldn't finish the whole video, y'all, but let me play this and you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Right. What the defense argues is there was no probable cause for somebody to go in and start taking pictures of his legal pads because they didn't have a warrant. Then the defense argues that, oh yeah, by the way, his legal pads are attorney-client privileged communication. Ooh. So that's another violation on top. Government tried to argue, well, no, we weren't targeting searching him. Instead, we got these papers in our hands because at the MDC, the Federal Detention Center, there were issues with safety and contraband. And so there was a general search performed by the MDC of all of the detainees. And during the course of that, we got our hands on some of these documents.
It's not a very good argument because if you're searching a prison for contraband, why did you take a bunch of pictures of somebody's notes written inside of a legal pad?
So we were talking about this yesterday. It was so confusing when we were kind of trying to make sense of this when we were reading like the inner city transcript. Some of this is just like, okay, so you were taking a picture. One investigator wasn't supposed to be there. The DA or the AUSA attorney didn't really know what the hell was going on. There's that. And they were muddying the waters. I know that there's another hearing scheduled for the bail situation. And the judge, I personally think, is side-eyeing the government at this point. It's weird. You said they don't need those few pieces of paper. They have plenty. This was not a huge win for Diddy. People are saying that this was a huge win for Diddy. I'm not really sure. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't interpret that. But I appreciate the way that Lawyers for Worker broke this down.
Written notes inside the pages of a legal pad would not be contraband that you're looking for to address prison issues.
The other reason that was not a very good argument is the person who took the pictures was not some random investigator assigned to search the BOP for contraband. It was an individual who has been assigned to monitor all of Diddy's communications and phone calls at the prison. So the idea that you're not targeting Diddy with this search and that this was just part of an overall search of the prison, I don't know about that. The judge didn't like that argument either. Well, what do the papers even say? The government argues that this is evidence of paying off witnesses and of trying to dig up dirt on witnesses. The defense argues no. The defense argues that's preposterous, but they don't even want to go there because at the end of the day, these are notes of conversations with lawyers and not something that they can be looking at, period. Defense notes that, look, they're saying, oh, he's trying to dig up dirt on witnesses. Well, if you were a defendant and there was a witness, wouldn't you try to find out all bad information about that witness so you could use that on the stand that, hey, this person is a liar, this person is this person filed this lawsuit over here to get some money. So the idea that somebody His lawyer says, hey, let's investigate a person and find out everything we can about them, is somehow witness intimidation, is preposterous. With the judge buying a lot of the defense's arguments, the question becomes, okay, let's say the government did illegally obtain these notes. What then? What should happen in this case? They turned that question over to Diddy's.
And that's what we were asking yesterday. What's going to happen if, you know, the judge says, yeah, they illegally obtained these notes? If that's what, you know, and I wasn't there. I'm just reading the transcript.
The defense had a couple points. One, they want an evidentiary hearing because before they ask the judge to issue a penalty for what they contend is a violation of Diddy's constitutional rights, first, they want to actually know exactly the extent of the violation. And the way they're going to go about doing that is they want the surveillance video from the seizure of the records within the.
That's why he was asking for it. He kept asking for it. That's what they want.
Jail. And two, they want to get the communications between the prosecution and the investigator who took the photographs. Big picture, defense argues a couple things. One, that this could be a situation where you have to dismiss the entire indictment, or this could be a situation where there's bias on part of the prosecutors, and these prosecutors should not be allowed to continue to prosecute. They should have to recuse themselves from the case. The other big picture, you have a shot at bond. The bond motion is coming up on Friday. And given that now you've got the judge a little bit on your side, questioning the integrity of the prosecution, questioning whether he can really take everything the prosecution is saying at face value, you might have a shot at bond.
Okay, so let me stop right here. So the case that they were referencing was Mike Jeffries. Mike Jeffries was bonded out at what, 10 million? T-Maker says that T-Maker's like, I thought they found kites. T-Maker. You know what, Sylvia? If that disgusting guy was still, that man was still alive, you know that they would be frying his ass right now with everything. There's just so much shit that came out after he died. Yeah.
Judge has set a briefing schedule. So each side is going to submit briefing and arguments on whether this was an illegal or legal search and seizure, whether this was a violation of the attorney-client privilege, and if so, what remedy should there be? Should there be a hearing? Should the defense get the right to review the surveillance footage? All of those issues are going to be briefed, argued before the judge, and a decision will come out on that in the coming weeks.
Oh man,
Diddy hearing just ended.
Shout out to Lawyers for Workers who kind of broke that down, and shout out to Inner City Press as well. Now we got some Wim's like, okay, I just woke up, you could start now. No, Wim. We've been started. Jeffries didn't buy that's right. Jeffries didn't do what Jeffries didn't do it. Listen, we got some good news though. Or let me tell you what's going on. Susan Smith, according to Brian Ensign, child killer Susan Smith has been denied parole. She's been denied parole. Now she can apply again. She'll be eligible in like every 2 years. She can apply again. So David Smith, who was the father of these kids, has to go through this shit every 2 years. Okay. So Susan Smith has been denied parole. Okay. Yo, no reality TV show for Susan Smith. Yes, the fact that they have to explain why Jeffries got bail and S. Combs, no matter where you stand, bail was not granted in a judicial way. Yep, it's true. You said good that heifer should get out. You know what, Sylvia? We're gonna have to dig on Scott Baio. Like, is Scott Baio still at it again? He's trying to find like relevance one way or another. Good morning, Wim. We're going to bed soon. You said this stream will be done soon. You said, like I said yesterday, this probably happens all the time. Only difference is that it was done to a high profile inmate. I agree. You think that they would have been more careful. I don't know. I guess we'll see how things happen, how things land at this point. I don't know, y'all. You said it doesn't excuse him using the prisoner's phone time. You know what? That's right. Like, he used it for exactly. And then the phone time and the three-way calls, that wasn't even like argued. Leave the pictures part out. But what about him clearly violating the BOP rules and whatnot? I don't know. Jules, can you guys keep saying that? I haven't seen anything. Can y'all, if you find Scott Baio reading a Diddy list, can y'all shoot it to me? Because I like to talk about that. And I side-eye Scott Baio because I'm like, Scott Baio, don't you got like bigger problems Don't you got people that have made allegations against you and then you try to silence them too one way or another? This is my email. If you guys can shoot me that link, that'd be amazing, please and thank you. Let me know. Yeah, you didn't hear that. We didn't hear that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No worries, Vicky. Have a good one. Shout out to you. All over X, so weird. Okay, Diddy Doggy, can you tag me? I haven't seen it. I don't know why, Scott Baio. I'm telling you, these people that are like reformed, you know, suddenly they become truth seekers and truth tellers because they saw the light. Maybe they met Jesus around the, I don't know, something that tends to happen. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. You said. Thank you, Chico. All right, guys, I have to head out because I got to go tend to baby bunny. I will be live later on today. And then I got to upload some videos. Do me a favor, hit that like button, please. And thank you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this whole situation. I also want to talk about some other stuff as it pertains to Diddy. There's some other stuff happening too, but we'll get into that later on. Hit the like button, please. And thank you. And I will see you guys on the next one. That's right. He's got no money. Scott Baio, go away, Scott Baio. Go away, Scott Baio. Go do something else with yourself. Bye, guys. Bye. Have a good one.